Hello everybody. Today we're working on Packet Tracer Lab 4.6.5, Connect a Wired and Wireless LAN. This is from the Cisco Intro to Networking course. And in this lab we've got this preloaded network set up for us. Actually not the network yet. That's what we're going to do in this lab. We're going to use all the different cables that were necessary to go ahead and hook up this lab and get it in working order. You can see we've got a table here followed by all the instructions, and we're just going to work our way through this to get to 100%. All right, as we begin this lab, I'd like you to take note of what's going on up here in the table. If you get confused at any point in this lab and you're not sure which interfaces to connect to, I want you to know that that information is here in this table. So let's move down and get started and follow the instructions. Part 1 is about connecting to the cloud here. Connect the cloud to router 0. At the bottom left, click the orange lightning icon to open the available connections. So mine are already open, but here's the orange lightning connector, and here are all of my options. We need to choose the correct cable to connect router 0 to cloud to the cloud. The cloud is a type of a switch, so use a copper straight through connection. They're telling us this time, so we're going to choose the straight through connector, and we will move over to router, and it says F00. That's Fast Ethernet 00. Left click on that, and then over to the cloud, left click on that. And we want Ethernet 6, so left click on that. We've got green up lights. Our percentage went up to 12% completion, so that's good. Okay, step 2, connect the cloud to cable modem. Choose the correct cable to connect cloud coax 7 to modem port 0. The clue here is coax 7. That means we need a coaxial cable. So let's go down here. We're going to hover over the cables until we find the coax cable, and it's a blue lightning bolt. Left click on that, move up to the cloud, left click on the cloud. We want the coaxial 7 connector, left click on that, port I should say. Then modem, here's the cable modem, left click on that. They tell us to connect to port 0. I've already got green up lights, super quick. Okay, that's good. We're up to 25%, and we need to move on to part 2. One of the hardest things in these labs is keeping track of where you are in the lab. So use a highlighter or your finger if you've got a paper copy of the lab, but make sure you don't get lost or it'll be difficult to get to 100%. In part 2, connect router 0 to router 1. Choose the correct cable to connect router 0 to router 1. These are both serial ports, so it says use one of the available serial cables. So let's move down here and find the serial cables. I already know what they are. They're these red ones. There's 2 different types, and we're told we can use either one. So I'll just click on the first one, left click, move over to router 0, serial 000. Router 0, left click, serial 000, left click. Get your connector. It's a little bit of a delay. And then over to router 1, which is right next to it, left click on that. And we want serial 00, it says in the instructions. Left click on that. Got green up lights, 37%. Step 2, connect router 0 to PKA, to Net Academy PKA, this server right here. Choose the correct cable to connect router 0 to Net Academy PKA. Routers and computers traditionally use the same wires to transmit. The correct cable to choose consists of these crossed wires. Although many NICs can now auto-sense which pair is used to transmit and receive, router 0 and netacademy.pka do not have auto-sensing NICs. So this is a modern fix to things. And the way that it is now is many routers, switches, devices, they automatically can determine what type of wire you're using and you don't need to worry about it. But if you did, you have to understand which type of cable to use. This situation, because we're going from a computer, a router is a computer, a server is a computer, from computer to computer, we need a crossover cable. So let's go down here and we'll grab the crossover. It's the dashed black line. Left click your mouse on it. Move up to router 0, left click. We want fast Ethernet 01, left click. Over to the server netacademy.pka, left click. We only have one choice, fast Ethernet 0, left click, and my cable is working. Okay. Step 3, connect router 0 to the configuration terminal. Choose the correct cable to connect router 0 to configuration terminal RS-232. So we need to choose a console cable because look, we're connecting a console port to an RS-232. So let's go down here, grab the console cable with our left mouse button. We want to go from router 0, so left click router 0. We want the console port over to configuration terminal, left click, and we want the RS-232. These are just going to be black circles, it tells us, and we're up to 62%. All right, we're already on part 3. Connect remaining devices. Connect router 1 to the switch. Choose the correct cable to connect router 1 to the switch. So for this one, we've got a router to a switch, and in this case, we want to use a fiber optic cable. So let's go down here and choose the fiber cable. It's the gold one. Left click on it, and we want to go from router 1 and F10 to the switch F01. Left click on those, and then it tells us it may take a minute for that amber light to turn green. And I want to give you a little tip here. Down on the bottom left, there's a fast forward button. If you're tired of waiting for things to happen, you can go down here, click the fast forward a couple times, and things will happen more quickly within your network. So we've got that one green, and now we're moving on to step 2. Also, we were up to 75%. Verify that you're doing that. All right, step 2. Connect cable modem to wireless router. Choose the correct cable to connect cable modem port 1 to wireless router internet port. Okay, for this one, these two devices, we've got a modem and a router, so we're going to need a straight through for that. So go down here, left click on the straight through cable. We want the cable modem port 1, cable modem port 1 to the wireless router internet port. Left clicking. It's already got the green lights, and I'm up to 87%. Step 3, connect the wireless router to the family PC. Choose the correct cable to connect the wireless router Ethernet 1 to the family PC. Routers are computers and PCs are computers. We need a crossover for this one. So let's go down here and grab the crossover cable, left click on it, move up to wireless router Ethernet 1, left click again, and then we want to go to the family PC, left click, and we want to go to fast Ethernet 0. Now my lights are red. I'm going to delete this cable right here. So let me go up here and hit this backspace button. Let me try to zero in on just the cable. There it is. It deleted it. Now don't go around with this X. You might start deleting things you don't mean to delete. So just hit the escape button And let's go ahead and try a straight through maybe for this cable and see if that works for the wireless router from Ethernet 1 to the family PC. Oh, it likes that. Let's hit the fast forward. Okay, there it is, 100%, and it likes this. I don't have red lights anymore. Okay, let's go back to the end here where we start checking the connections. Verify the connections. Test the connection from the family PC to the Net Academy PKA. So we're going to open the family PC command prompt and ping Net Academy. So left click family PC. If it's just on this screen, move over to the desktop screen and choose command prompt. And I have already tried this once. I had some trouble. So let's ping the correct address for netacademy.pka. Now, where did I get this from? You have to go look in the table to find out the address. netacademy.pka is right here. So I typed ping and then that address. Let me hit enter and see how it goes. Give it a little time. There's 50% loss, which is encouraging. That means it sort of got there, but within networks, the network equipment needs to learn the path. And it takes a little bit of time sometimes in a couple of tries. So down here at the command prompt again, I'm going to hit the up arrow so that the last command shows up, and I hit enter. And let's see if we get 100%, 0% loss. We did. So everything worked. That first connection is good. So we did step A. Part B, open the web browser and the web address. So let's X out of this. We want to go to the web browser. And we want to type in HTTP, just like it is there. And it says it got there, my favorite page. So everything is working fine that way. All right, step 2 here says ping the switch from home PC. So let's X out of this one. From the home PC, let's left click that. We want to go to the desktop and the command prompt again. And I'm going to move this over here and click the top button so the screen doesn't disappear. I need the address for the switch. So I need to go back up here and find my switch, and the address is right here. So I'm going to come back here and type the word ping space 172.16.0.2, hit enter, and let's see if this connection is working. While it's trying that, I'm going to move back down so I don't lose my place. We are right here. 50% loss again, so I'm going to up arrow right here on this line and hit enter again. See if we can get 0% loss. And we did. So this connection is also working. That was step 2. Let's move on to step 3. Open router 0 from the configuration terminal, and then we have some directions here. So I'm going to X out of this window. So the configuration terminal is hooked up to our router. So we can access the router from this computer. So I want to left click on the configuration terminal, go to that desktop again, and we want to open the terminal. The default settings are okay. I'm just following the directions okay, right here. Default settings are okay. And we're going to move down here. Let me put this up here and choose top. We want to just hit enter at the end here so that we get to the prompt that says router 0. Type show IP interface brief to view interface statuses. Show IP interface brief. And you can see the status of these different interfaces on the router. We've got IP addresses for some of those interfaces. We've got whether they're okay or not, whether they are up. A couple of these are not being used. They are administratively down, but we can see that these interfaces, these first three, are up and they are working and they all have IP addresses. Okay, let's move on to part 5. Examine the physical topology. Examine the cloud. So let's X out of this. Click the physical workspace tab, and then we've got other ways we can do that, but let's go right here and click physical. And then it says to click the home city icon. That's this big strange looking icon here. Click the cloud icon. I'm left clicking the cloud icon. How many wires are connected to the switch in the blue rack? So let's look here at the switch. We can make this larger in here. All right. The question is, how many wires are connected to the switch? There are 2 wires connected to the switch. You can see them right here. All right, click back to return to home city. Here's the back button. All right, now it says examine the primary network right here. Click the primary network icon. Hold the mouse pointer over various cables. Got information about that orange cable. This one, you get information about that. See how when you hover, you can get information. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because our question is, what is located on the table to the right of the blue rack? So this is what it actually looks like in this room. And what is this right here? You can see it is the configuration terminal. You can see those little words down there. Whoops. Configuration terminal. Click back to return to home city. So here's that back button again. Examine the secondary network. Click the secondary network icon. Hold the mouse pointer over various cables. So you can see you've got details about the cables. Once again, why are there 2 orange cables connected to each device? And that's because fiber cables come in pairs. One of them is for transmitting and one of them is for receiving. Click the back button again. Return to the home city and examine the home network. Why is there no rack to hold the equipment? And the answer is most homes don't have racks. They just have desktops or tables where they're keeping all of their equipment. All right, and then we can go back to the logical workspace in the top left here to our original thing. And that's the end of the lab. I'll see you in the next one.